On March 25, 2015, a quiet community in Rock Hill, South Carolina was shattered by a devastating fire. A 14-month-old baby lost his life, and investigators soon pointed to someone shocking as the cause: his 17-year-old half-brother Jacob Matthew Morgan. This case would ignite debates over juvenile justice, intent versus negligence, and whether a teenager truly understood the consequences of his actions. Today we're diving deep into the tragic case of Jacob Morgan. The fire. Early in the morning of March 25, 2015, flames ripped through a mobile home in Rock Hill. Inside the home was 14-month-old Joshua Hill, a toddler just beginning his life. Neighbors reported seeing smoke pouring out of the house as firefighters rushed to the scene. They managed to contain the blaze, but it was too late. Baby Joshua could not be saved. At first, the fire seemed like a tragic accident, but investigators soon noticed unusual burn patterns. This wasn't just a random electrical fire, it appeared to have been intentionally set. Who was Jacob Morgan? The focus of the investigation quickly turned to Jacob Matthew Morgan, Joshua's half-brother. Jacob was only 17 years old at the time. According to family and court reports, Jacob had struggled socially and emotionally. Some accounts suggested he had difficulty fitting in, and prosecutors later argued he lacked full awareness of the danger he created, but others believed his actions showed intent. The charges. Within weeks of the fire, Jacob was arrested. Prosecutors charged him with murder, first-degree arson, homicide by child abuse or neglect. The charges painted a disturbing picture that Jacob had deliberately set a fire that killed his baby brother. This decision split the community. Some believed Jacob was a troubled teen who had made a reckless mistake. Others saw him as a murderer who deserved to face the harshest punishment. Inside the courtroom. The courtroom became the stage for an emotional and controversial trial. Prosecutors argued Jacob intentionally set the fire and left his brother to die. They emphasized that starting a blaze in a home, knowing a baby was inside, showed clear disregard for life. Defense attorneys painted a different picture. They described Jacob as immature, struggling with mental health, and not fully understanding the gravity of his actions. They claimed he never meant for Joshua to die. The Alford plea. In February 2016, nearly a year after the fire, Jacob made a pivotal decision. He entered an Alford plea. An Alford plea is unusual. It means the defendant does not admit guilt but acknowledges that prosecutors have enough evidence for a conviction. Jacob pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter, unlawful neglect of a child, and, through the Alford plea, third-degree arson. This avoided the risk of a harsher sentence if convicted of murder. Sentencing. The judge handed down a sentence of 15 years in prison followed by 5 years of probation. In court, Jacob broke down in tears as his fate was sealed. For his family, the outcome was devastating on all sides. They had lost Joshua in the fire, and now Jacob would lose his freedom for much of his youth. Aftermath and debate. The case of Jacob Morgan sparked heated debates. Was justice served? Some argued that 15 years was far too lenient for a baby's death. Others pointed out that Jacob was only 17, barely an adult, and may not have fully understood the consequences of his actions. The tragedy raised bigger questions about how the justice system treats teenagers who commit serious crimes, and whether intent should matter as much as outcome when a child's life is lost. The story of Jacob Morgan is one of family tragedy, justice, and unanswered questions. What do you think? Was the sentence fair, or should the punishment have been harsher? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories from around the world.